Let me just show you one of the openings for the trickle-down tube so you have some idea of what I'm talking about. This is a trickle-down support, and this has to go inside here, and this is to prevent the tube from being cut into by the sheet metal. Okay? So in the old method, you would have to snake the tube through the collector like this, from one collector to another. Okay? In the trickle-down collector, what we'll be doing is we'll just be pressing it into a slot on the top, like this. You see? And this will give us more room underneath to form a better seal. And also it'll greatly improve the installation. It'll make the installation of this tube a lot easier. And we're going to make a tool out of this. And that tool will just be a 2x4, 25 inches long. And we're also going to need a piece that's 23 inches long. So that's the first thing that I'd like you to make. Number one. Okay, cut your 2x4s. One 25 inches and one 23 inches. Step number two. We'll be using a 1x6, a common pine 1x6. And we're going to be cutting some pieces. You can cut two pieces 25 inches long. 25 inches is the inside diameter of our collector. Okay, from these three pieces that we just cut, we're going to build the foot support for the collector. We have the foot support, and we also have the head support. This is the head support. Okay. Now, a lot of this isn't going to make much sense, so let's just do this and we'll see where all the pieces go. Okay, so I want to pre-drill these holes so we don't split the wood. Okay, so we'll have three holes like this. This is in our 2-inch piece. And in our 1-inch piece, we're going to also have three holes. 1, 2, 3. All right, now, first thing we'll need to do is we're going to join these together. We're going to join the 2.5-inch piece to the 2-inch piece, like this. So we have 3 screws. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the next part of this operation is a little tricky. We're going to make a 1 3/4 screw from a 2-inch drywall screw. So if you have a grinder, that's a good thing, or you can get those screws, or you can actually use 1 1/4, but you're going to have to put a pretty heavy-duty countersink on. Anyway, 1 3/4 is the best size for the next thing we're going to be doing. So I just use a grinder. Grind off 1/4 of it in. Clean it up a little. Okay. So we got a 1 3/4 screw. All right. Let's let's straighten this out a little bit. Because if it's 2 inches long, it's going to protrude through the other side about 1/4 inch. We don't want that. And this is our foot support. Okay, all done. All right, what next? Okay, now we're ready to build our frame with our steel stud slot. This is our steel stud slot. It's 10 feet long. So the first thing we want to do is find the center of our steel stud slot. So we just measure here and measure off 5 feet. Because this is, we want the inside of our collector to be 25 inches. And we're doing that to accommodate the sun tough glazing material. This one. The next thing we want to do is we're going to drill some holes for our trickle-down tube. Remember the way we were talking about that before. Okay, so that's going to be a little tricky. Okay, I've marked off where I want the 1-inch hole to be. It's 2 inches from the flange, from where we're going to bend the flange. That would be here, and it's 3/4 of an inch down. And you notice underneath this, we're going to be putting our 2x4. So now we know where we want our hole, so you can use a nail and the hole to get it started. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, let's get this started. Alright, there's our basic hole. Okay, this is the hole that we started with our circular saw, our 1-inch circular saw. But the problem with this is that we want to flare this hole in our steel stud slot. So this is a tool I made with pipe. It's a flaring tool, so we're going to round off these edges so that the trickle-down tube so that the steel stud slot doesn't cut into the trickle-down tube. Okay, so in order to do that, we have to make this hole a little wider than 1 inch. Okay. Okay, we have both our holes drilled out, and we're putting the hole in the steel stud slot right over this notch. Remember, the notch is just a little bit wider than the hole that we cut in the steel, and this is so we can use our flaring tool. This is the flaring tool made from a steel pipe and some fittings, and I ground off the end. You can probably figure out a better way of doing this, but anyway, this is basically to round off the steel edges. Okay, that's not bad. Let's put it on a better. There we go. So you see it has a nice round edge to it. There we go. And then put another slit on the other side. Yeah, there's a nice wide slit. That'll make it easy for us to install. A table to work on, it makes life a lot easier. You can just use some sawhorses and throw a piece of plywood on top. This works pretty good. Okay. So this is our basic frame. Now, next thing we'll do is we're going to be putting in our foot support. Remember our foot support? Okay, so we're going to loosen 2 of these screws on our foot support so it can swivel like this. This allows us to attach to the frame. So we just line it up like this. Just make it flush with the end. Okay, so I'll tighten this one up a little and just slide it in place. This over. Well, folks, we put the MTD frame together, but we'll have to save the final assembly for another time. But wait, we can't end the video like this. We need Tom Cavanaugh to sing us a song and remind us why we're working on this project in the first place.
I'm sick and tired of feeling scared, and I'm scared of being sick. I'm more confused by what I learned, but isn't that the trick? I've come to terms with what is real, reality's a ruse. To ponder is a dangerous game that ends in self-abuse. I think I worry way too much, and worry makes me think. But if tranquility does breed contempt, then I guess I'm on the brink. I thought the war of detachment surrendered to the cause. My actions are now dictated and governed by its laws. I'm stepping outside myself to see what's going on. I'm stepping outside myself to see what I've become. I grimace at the putrid thoughts that lay within my mind. Refuse to open dormant dreams, I fear what I may find. I'm scaling walls too high to climb and never check to see if someone left the gate open so I could walk through free. I'm stepping outside myself to see what's going on. I'm stepping outside myself to see what I've become. I'm staring at my reflection, rejecting what I view. I'm visualizing images and hoping to construe. I want to break down barriers I've built up on my own, and finally be comfortable when I'm left all alone. I'm stepping outside myself to see what's going on. I'm stepping outside myself to see what I've become. I'm stepping outside myself to see what's going on.